You're watching SA Today on the SABC News Channel, independent and impartial, coming to you live from Johannesburg. Hello, I'm Peter Ndoro. Thanks for joining us.
A very good afternoon to you. My name is Balisachi, and I suppose happy Friday.
It's the best day of the week.
Thanks God, it's Friday. We are now in the second hour of SA Today. It's good to have you with us. Let's get on to it.
All right, now, before we get into the main stories, what you can see behind us now is the UN General Assembly, because in a short while, a memorial will be taking place for the victims of the Rwandan genocide, which took place 25 years ago.
Yes, indeed. Of course, we'll take you live to the United Nations General Assembly, where the United Nations General Secretary Antonio Guterres and the President of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, are expected to say their a speech. Of course, there, as you can see, Peter said, those are live visuals coming out of the General Assembly.
Yeah, it's expected to start shortly, and we'll be crossing live to hear that message. And the UN, of course, 25 years ago came under some criticism for not acting quickly enough and supporting the troops that were on the ground there. And it was a very small force that was present. And so 25 years later, I think that there is an accounting that the UN grouping will be taking as they commemorate this very important day. But as I say, we'll be going there live to capture those moments as they open up.
All right, we come back home now. We go to the Western Cape, where police and residents of Happy Valley at Blackheath in Cape Town have clashed during running battles since the early hours of this morning.
Stun grenades, rubber bullets and tear gas was used as residents hurled rocks and petrol bombs at the police. The violence erupted earlier this week after residents illegally occupied a piece of land there. They were removed by the anti-land invasion unit.
The group has told the SABC that they want land for housing, as many are backyard dwellers.
The area where I'm standing now is where there were scenes of absolute chaos this morning. I'm just going to step out for a moment so you can see the tract of land that we're talking about. This area earlier this week was occupied by people, and a day later they were removed by the anti-land invasion unit. Now shortly after that, police had fired stun grenades, rubber bullets, tear gas to disperse the crowd, and we saw the crowd hurling stones and petrol bombs at the police. Now, they did invite us closer a little bit later in the day, where they told us the issue at hand is land, and they've been waiting for long enough now, and it's time for them to get a piece of property where they can put up their own structures, or even, in the best case scenario, formal housing. Of course, this is exactly the same as what we saw in Luandle yesterday, where there was also absolute chaos, where there was a grand-scale looting in the area. At least 2 liquor stores were completely emptied and smashed, and we also know of a retailer that was cleaned out completely. We haven't had reports here of any looting, but certainly there were scenes of grave violence that we saw this morning. One concerning point that we saw as well, there was a lot of young children that were part of that protest.